I'm going to talk tomorrow and we'll get you all that.
Okay. And a photo pass so they know I'm
I
legit.
did have a board member call me later going, well, there's this guy taking photos. And I went, oh, that was Jeff. Sorry, I should have told you guys. I just figured everybody knew you.
Well, I did wear my rec center tag because, you know, and it was Huntington Woods. That's why to go, to Berkeley, I want, you know,
Yeah,
them to know or let the coaches know or something.
yeah. And that happens. That just happens to be a Berkeley dad.
That's okay. Yeah,
So that's why he didn't know you as well.
that's okay. Yeah, I try to wave, and I said I wore my little Huntington Woods shirt and my little tag.
That's perfect.
Okay, I think we're pretty well all. Hello, Jessica.
Hi.
We're pretty well all here. Joanne's a little blurry.
I don't know why.
Okay, well, you're doing, okay. So let's call what time? We have time, yeah, call the meeting to order. And everyone's got an agenda here. Do we want to approve the agenda? Need a motion?
I approve the agenda.
You have to make a motion to approve it, okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Approval of minutes from May.
Agenda.
Everyone's had a chance to look at the May, right, it's a long time ago, our last meeting. Any changes to the minutes?
Mm-mm.
Okay, does anyone want to make a motion to approve them? Somebody?
I make a motion.
Kim,
I'll motion.
May-
I'll second.
Okay, motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We accept the minutes. Student representative appointment, Mia's already here.
That's right. Yeah, we're just
Uh,
gonna
So
welcome.
Mia, you're our new member, and we all, whatever, a week, 10 days ago, got your application resume and references, and everybody's very happy to have you join us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And as Alexa knows, you are like a full member. You can talk and do the same thing the rest of us do, and we like to hear the different opinions, so do not be shy.
Okay.
Okay. So you've been appointed. Correspondence. I see Amy's correspondence, and I just don't understand what's going on here for our public members here. The correspondence is basically the skate park on 11 Mile. And a year ago, a resident came and complained at the skate park of parking issues, noise, rude kids, litter, et cetera, and I and several of the other people on the board started going by the skate park and checking on and seeing what was going on. And this year we had the complaint again, and I've been going again. And I've probably been there, I don't know, 10 times. This season, the most recent, about a week ago. And I've been there early in the day, late in the day, weekends. And I find that it's nice. It seems to be one of the more used parks in the city. There's a variety of people using it. I've talked to teenagers, I've talked to adults, I've talked to moms with young kids, and nobody has said there's any problems. And this is going back to last year, and I talked to these kids and said, if there's problems, the police will shut the park for a week, and they're aware of this. And the parking issues seem somewhat to be the collision shop, and I talked to Fred at the collision shop, and I think it's a nice park.
So was this about the complaints, or is this about concerns about the integrity of the structure?
Well, the skate park itself, I think is, Mary, the skate park, is that okay? It's just
Skate bowl, yeah, the skate bowl is not in disrepair.
Okay.
As is the inline skate rink.
okay. And I don't, again, I mean, I asked the people also, where do they live? And some of them live in Huntington Woods, some of them live in other cities. And as someone who goes to parks, I will say, when I had kids in the city and now I have grandkids, and we go to the parks in Huntington Woods, and we go to the parks in Oak Park and in Royal Oak, and we've been to use the Berkeley ice rink and parks all over. And I think that's why we're in a nice area in Oakland County that.
So Jeff, what's the complaint? Is it the same couple that came to the meeting a year ago? Are they raising the issue again? What's the latest?
I don't know. I have just a letter from Amy. Do you have any background on it, Mary?
I do. Yeah, I do. It is. Yeah, the complaint is very much the same as what we got when they came to us. They sent a complaint to Amy as well as the commissioners. And Amy's follow-up on this is, well, basically where it's going is we found out what were the options. If we didn't repair the inline skate rink, for instance, which is in disrepair, we're kind of putting it out to the residents too. What do you want? Do you want to invest money into repairing that portion of it? DNR, as far as DNR's concerned, that any park has to exist for at least 20 years before they will consider calling it at the end of its useful life. This particular park, in 3 years, it'll be 20 years. So nothing could be done before 3 years to the park, if anything's done. I think what's helpful is we know where we stand with DNR. Now it's going to be like, okay, do the residents want it repaired? Put the money into it, repairing it. Would you prefer to replace it with something else? If you want something else, what do you want? And the skate bowl itself is not in disrepair,
Okay.
as is the other. And so that, just because, is not justification to remove it. If it's not in disrepair, they are inclined not to do anything about that portion anyway. But in doing this, we're kind of addressing the person's complaints, and then we'll just keep going further to see if all residents or those that use the facility or live around it are like-minded, or perhaps they're okay with it and feel that it would be a good investment to put money into repairing the surface. So this is where she replied to that couple with very much the same information that we have right here. Just stating, because they also were inquiring about, well, what's the end of the life of the park? So we did look into what DNR's, how they address it. And so that was what is included in this memo. So she wanted you to be aware and kind of get your feedback, your feeling as a board, how you feel about this whole situation.
Now, if the park, sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was
Oh, sorry. If the park, if they don't approve the ability to take the park down, I mean, does the DNR have the final say in 2023? Is that what I'm understanding?
No. It's still up to us what we do, but that would be the soonest. If we want to turn it into something else or take that inline rink out, that is the soonest we could do something about it. DNR is happy for us to leave it there and for perpetuity.
Oh, but
Okay.
they could say no, though, right? Is that am I understanding, or
They
is it
could
up to?
say no, but I think in the condition that it is right now, we would have reason if the community
Good
doesn't
case.
repair it, it
Okay.
could be removed.
So Mary, I guess my question is, if it's 3 years until we could do something about it, in order to get into the planning phase, I guess that would be 2024,
23.
2023, 2020. Yeah, we would have to start planning what 2022 with like a year in advance.
Well, we won't know until 23. We can't even apply, put in an application.
Okay, so
So,
you can't do anything, even if we
No.
want to repurpose it, 2023 is the soonest to
right,
actually even have a plan.
put in application to have that done.
So
So
the
it seems like
residents,
the sorry, go ahead, Joe.
no, I was just gonna say, so the residents, they're restating their concern. They want, are they putting in the request to Amy what they want, or they just want it noted that it's still an issue? And, Jeff and the other board members, going over there and periodically, I mean, I've been over there myself. I haven't seen anything. Are they just looking for the police to come? I mean, I guess what's the request if they know that it
No,
can't
I
be done?
think they want it out.
Okay.
They do not want it there. That is their goal.
Are they bothered by the parking or the people that are attending the park?
They're saying parking, they're saying the people attending.
Because I think the majority of the people that go there are high school students and people that are like skateboarding.
Well, actually, interestingly enough, I did speak with him. His complaint wasn't so much the skate bowl area as the inline hockey rink, the noise created by pucks hitting the boards and sticks hitting the concrete. So I don't know that there's anything really specific. I think it's perhaps, I don't know, they would just like something else there. So that's why I think it's important that anything that is to be done the residents will have input into if they want to put money into it, when we find out what the cost will be to repair it. If the greater good feels that it should be removed, what's it going to be changed to? So we more input will be needed, but this is kind of a first step to creating more dialogue with more than just one household.
Are each of the parks being treated separately or together as far as this decision process?
Well,
The Line Park and the Bowl.
right. Well, it's one park, but if the bowl is not considered to be in poor condition, that we might not be able to do anything with that anyway. So that may still stay if the other is to be removed. If
So
it's
even
not,
though it's one park, it isn't necessarily treated that way as far as planning concerns.
correct.
Okay.
It's useful, its usefulness or its age, it still has some life left in it. That might be what DNR says.
Okay.
So the decision then is just about whether or not to repair the inline rink, right?
Starting at that point, yeah. If
3 years.
in 3 years,
Okay.
we can even bring that up perhaps before that, if the community's willing to put money into repair of that rink.
Is
Either
it
way,
a-
it costs.
Yeah, that was my question.
Pardon me?
It costs either way, whether we repurpose it or whether we fix it.
Yeah, it's going to cost either way.
Okay.
And do we have a quote as to how much it would be?
No,
to repair?
not
It's so far out.
We gotten that far. Yeah, it's a little ways
Wait.
off, so we haven't gotten that yet.
I'm confused though. If we're repairing the inline skate rink, we would have to do that now, right?
No.
No, it's still usable. It just has a lot of cracks in it. So that would not be
Cracks in the
repaired right now.
fencing's a little messed up.
Yeah, no, it's still usable. We're looking at, nothing would be done to it probably before 3 years. It
Okay.
would be made in-
Including repairing the age-related deficiencies?
Correct. Unless if it came to the point where it was not playable, then we would have to address it at that point because we'd have to either close it down or make the repairs. But right now, a decision on that isn't needed.
This is off the wall, but we have our outdoor exercise area that we're putting the other end of 11 Mile. Could this go there in place of the inline skate? The adult exercise equipment?
I don't know. That's just, I don't know.
All right.
I have no idea.
All right, so do we want to do anything with this memo from Amy?
I don't think you have to do anything. I think it's just that you did receive it, had conversation,
Okay,
and understand where it's going.
okay.
But isn't there any minor things that we can do now to maybe satisfy those residents a little bit, though? I mean,
Well, as far as the parking issues,
the parking, so I had quite a conversation with them, and they seem a lot majorly concerned about the parking. And the parking I go by there 3 times a week because it's on my way to the gym, and I bike to the gym. So I see a lot. And it's always, the kids in the skate bowl, I always stop and talk to them, and almost none of them park. They all walk or skate there. So it really is the garage. If there's any way we can kind of alleviate the parking issue a little bit and maybe put some foam on the door to stop the slamming door.
oh no, it's not the slamming door. It's like when somebody's skating and they hit the puck against the boards.
Oh, they told me it was a slamming door. I don't know. But if there's some minor things we can do just to kind of calm things down a little bit for the next few years, I just think it's not all or nothing.
Right. The parking, public safety said any car that's illegally parked, certainly they can ticket. That's not the issue. They just don't like all the cars on the street.
But but the cars aren't caused by the skate park. I think we're focusing on the wrong issue. So.
Right. Well, yeah. And interestingly enough, this gentleman is also a public safety officer. So if there was somebody parked, illegally, they would certainly be able to either call an officer over or whatever. But yeah. So you've additional conversations, I guess, with Armitage, and I don't know where else the cars are coming from, but there's nothing we can do to actually police it. There is a sign there talking about parking for park users only between 8.
Right, during the day, yeah.
Yeah, they'd park in the parking lot spots for the skate park if they were available, but the garage is taking up the spot, so then you end up parking in front of those people's house, and the people don't like the kids in front of their house. That was their biggest concern.
Okay.
And then their secondary concern was the
Late
noise.
night noise.
And I go by there a lot, and I don't think it's that noisy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And most of the time, it's kids in the skate park, the bowl, more than the hockey rink.
Right. Well, I can certainly pass along, what can we do to remove cars that are parked there that shouldn't be. See if there's something. I'll talk to Andrew about that. See.
I mean, doesn't the garage have any culpability? I mean, don't they have rules around where they can park all those cars? There's a lot of cars around that garage. Sometimes they're parked over the sidewalk. Sometimes they're parked in the skate park.
It is the garage, and it's sometimes it's been not so much the customers that come and can say they don't know better. It is the garage because it's the same like truck every single day. But I talked to Fred earlier this summer, and he said he would try to watch it.
Okay.
So, but again, public safety can.
Okay.
I just think it's worth seeing if we can do something, because the kids that use that park, it's a great outlet for them. I mean, it's all ages, and when I talk to them, they're super nice. I've never stopped and talked to anybody who is rude or anything, and they really want that park to stay open.
Yeah. Well, and we do too. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's.
I'll pass it along.
Okay, so we take it under advisement and talk about in a couple of years and see if we can do something to help the problems.
Okay.
Okay, public participation, Joanne. You have something, you came to visit us?
I did.
Okay.
So I've been playing, my family, my daughter lives in Huntington Woods and kids and so on. And we were unhappy with the condition of the tennis courts. And so I, at Burton, at the rec center, as well as 11 Mile. So I emailed Mary, who I know, and she did tell me that this is a project for the spring. So my only reason for being here is to just confirm that the tennis courts are going to be redone possibly next spring. So.
Right, and they're going to be repaired.
Repaired.
Yeah, they will be repaired. Yeah, the money was just reallocated back into the budget, and it will be done in the spring.
Okay, and the 11 Mile courts too?
Yeah, both sets of courts.
Okay, that's it. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. And you're welcome to stay or welcome to click off.
I'll listen to one more. It's kind of interesting. I will stay a little bit longer.
Sure. Todd?
Thanks, Jeff. For those that don't know me, lived in Huntington Woods for 16, 17 years now. I'm currently president of South Oakland County Soccer, and I've been to you guys before. You guys do a great job. I just thought it would be good to stop in, pop in on virtual with you guys and just say that as we continue down this, we're at the point with the club going, how can we help invest in some of the fields? One of them, like where Jeff was on the weekend men's club field, as it's called. I'm not sure if that's the official name for it, but looking at how we can, what monies can go into it to level it out, to work on the drainage. Mary and I talked about this maybe 18 months ago. And I did talk to the men's club, potentially buddying up for a project maybe for the auction project this year. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm starting to talk with them. So I'm just kind of looking at some options for that field. And then if there's some other ones that are out there, but I don't think Burton is Burton, the baseball fields fall under you guys, or is that the Berkeley School District?
It would be us.
Okay. So
sometimes cooperatively, but
okay.
Probably us.
So we're under that crunch of green space, like a lot of everybody is. We do a lot of practice up at Catalpa Oaks. And if you, one of the cool things is that we got 2 new fields put in, 11v11 fields put in, and they were supposed to be open sooner than later, but because of COVID, it's actually been a good thing for us in that those fields, they stripped them, put irrigation in, put new grass on them, new seed on them. So 2 of the 4 11v11s have been redone, basically. So that's going to be dedicated this Friday. Unfortunately, only 100 people are being invited, but we do a lot of games there. But our younger kids, as you know, as you've walked the neighborhood now, we have, for the fall season, a little bit less than 500 rec kids. And a majority of them come from Huntington Woods. And they're practicing wherever they can practice, right? And men's club field has always been awesome for us because that's kind of our showcase where we have our littles go out there, the mini kickers, which are 3-4-year-olds, and then we have the U5 and U6 that play their games out there. So one of the things that now that we're at a place with the club, I want to start looking at potentially corporate sponsorship to come in. I've got a couple hanging out there, and to say, okay, if the city would get involved with us and maybe the men's club, I'm not sure, but we're looking at, okay, how can we fix men's club field and or then Burton field, right? And it's not to make them soccer fields, it's to make them all purpose for baseball, lacrosse, soccer. Everybody benefits from it. And we all share the fields. Obviously, soccer should be number 1. No, kidding. But it's to me, it's bottom line, it's for the kids, right? Nothing pleases me more than when I do my nightly walks with the dog and my wife, and we come around and Burton Field's packed with, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds practicing soccer with their coaches. And it's, how do we make that a better environment? And so all around, right? So I just wanted to, again, stop in and say, how do we get that ball rolling? Because you guys got a lot of stuff going on. We've got over, before COVID shut us down in the spring, we were going to have over 1,000 kids. That was the first time we'd have over 1,000 kids in probably 5-6 years. So we continue to grow. When I became president, we were at 600. So we're continuing to grow. And our emphasis is not only our travel teams, it's our rec. Because our rec gives those kids for less than $100, they get 8 games they get coaching, they get access to our professional coaches 3 times with clinics for no extra charge, right? So those are things I'm trying to, get across, get out there for everybody to understand what we're trying to do. And we are on the radar is to talk with the Berkeley School District. I've got a phone call in to do a Zoom meeting with Dennis McDavid next week to see, like we do stuff at Tyndall. We do a lot of practicing there. So where else can we invest in the community? We're at that stage now where we've, over the last 3 years, me as president, we've organized our financials and we're ready to start investing back into the community, into those parks. And again, it's not meant, don't get the impression that it's only soccer. My mindset would be, our club's mindset is, how do we make them all purpose, right? So I just want to lay it out there. And you guys probably know, we actually have a grant writer now that's part of our staff. And she's starting to pull some stuff together. So any way that we can partner with you guys on improving those fields, I'm wide open for suggestions.
Okay. People?
Any questions, concerns, contact me individually. This is where my focus is going to be for the next 18 months, if not longer.
So Todd, the initial concern was the drainage issue.
Yeah.
But that's like step 1. But step 2, you're looking to enhance the current parks to try to leverage some type of multi-purpose field, whether it's men's club or Burton.
Right. Both of them would be awesome because I get the impression that those would, just because we're familiar with them, and I think they're not going to go away, right? Well, I hope they're not going away. I don't. And my next approach is I'm going to talk, like I said, with Dennis McDavid and say, okay, with the schools, what opportunities do we have with the schools? And so I'm trying to put together a strategic plan that says, okay, we can do this field, and this field, and get an idea of what that is. We invested roughly $10,000 into Tyndall last year just to get rid of all of the weeds that were there. I mean, these were nasty weeds, and we kind of leveled it out a little bit. It would cost $100,000, $150,000 to strip Tyndall and put a whole new playing field there. But if we knew that it was going to stay and it would be a showcase for soccer, for I know lacrosse is coming around. What the heck? Let's get groups together to save our green space.
I guess when I think about it, I think of Burton because I grew up here. I played baseball there when I was younger.
Yep.
I look at Burton now, and Mary, we've talked about this before. It's almost to the point where it's not playable for any baseball team with how it's well, not just the drainage. I mean, the field conditions in general are horrendous. I mean, anybody that played the infield could take a shot from the ground not being level. I mean, it's not good. And I guess if there would be a grant involved and potential funding, I mean, best of both worlds, right? Trying to make it so that it's usable for everyone. And right now, it's really not usable for anyone. That's just my opinion.
Just a quick thing, actually, on our agenda, but I can bring it up now because I am getting quotes for the infield area to laser level it and do the whole thing. So when you talk to Dennis, kind of talk about that because we are hopeful at some point to be able to do the infields. So if he would like to connect with us on that, I'd be happy to talk to him.
Sounds good. I will.
Okay.
And Mary, just one comment on that. I know we talked last year about back 40 years ago. I know that was meant for teams that went through the 8th grade. Right. Of course, the Berkeley Dads Club changed everything. Everybody moves over there. So really the fields are just used for like kindergarten, first age kids. and the fields are huge compared to the size of those kids. Back when I was growing up, we had a field where the pool is. I mean, that used to be where the little kids played. So maybe something to revisit the thought of trying to size the fields down to the kids' sizes that play there. That would actually open up more green space for Todd and soccer. Just another thought to revisit that.
Yep, that would be great, Todd, if you could certainly talk about that with Dennis.
I will. And again, I'm kind of, throwing spaghetti noodles against the wall to see what sticks. I really don't, this is not my forte in fields and costs and things like that, but I am willing to lead that charge from our side, from a Sox perspective, and work with you guys, keep you informed, and however it goes. I really don't know how it works.
Okay, that's great.
But I just watch the fields get sucked up between Oak Park and Berkeley and us, and we can only put so many buildings in place before all of a sudden we have to hop in our cars and drive 40 miles to get to green space. So I just want, again, I'll back off and let you guys finish your meeting. And I just, again, thank you for all you guys do. I know from my end, it's a pain in the butt. And I know you guys are getting hit from all different angles as well. So, we all appreciate, from the Sox side, we appreciate the work you guys do.
Well, we appreciate what you do, because I mean, you got a lot of kids involved at a lot of ages, and I was out there. I'm happy to see somebody doing something during COVID, and I said, send me the info, and for Friday night or whatever, I'll help promote you guys.
Just on a side note, thank you, Jeff, for your kind words. But just on a side note, we've had to send out, I'm not going to say threatening emails to our parents, but sternly worded emails that this is how we're going to play. Because if we don't play this way, we're going to get shut down, right? The mask. And I was pleased. One funny thing, Jeff, you did get a shot of a little guy with his mask down around his chin talking to his dad. That was that's our VP of Rec. And I immediately took a screen grab of that and texted it to him. And I said, how come your son's not wearing his mask? Well, he was on the side. I knew what was going on, but I took the opportunity to tease him. But it's been crazy trying to get soccer back up and going. And I get it.
Both of my kids are playing. Both of my kids are playing soccer with you right now.
Oh,
and
awesome.
It's been really great. And so I'm as a parent of two of your players, I'm very grateful that you're up and running.
Oh, thank you. What are they, rec or travel, or what age group?
U5 and U7.
Yeah, I love that group. Because they swarm around, they run around, and every now and then somebody finds the ball and kicks it.
Yes, they're like bees.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
the kids and the parents all did have masks on.
Yep.
The couple I caught were, kids taking a drink of water, kids standing by themselves. Yep. But even the little kids, when they were running back and forth, they all did have masks on. So I was impressed.
Kids are great. They get it.
And
some of our parents
all had masks.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, if you got any questions, give me a call. Mary, and Jeff, I'll follow up with you guys. Whoever, just let me know. I'm going to start making some calls and seeing what I can drum up.
Okay.
Good. Thanks for coming.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks.
Okay, now it's just back to us board members. Okay, items of business, ballot proposal support. Mary?
Oh, yep. You each got a copy of the ballot proposal. It's going to be on the upcoming election, and it's relative to recreation funding, which the funding has been there in the past, but they're also expanding who will be eligible for funds, which in the past, we have not been eligible for any funding. We're not purchasing any property at this point in time. We're not near a trail. We're not near water. So Huntington Woods hasn't been eligible to even apply for funding through this fund. But now they're expanding who can apply for funding, and projects that renovate recreation facilities are going to be eligible for a grant. So MRPA has asked all communities, Michigan Recreation and Park Association, to support this proposal because they do feel it's in the best interest of recreation throughout the state, as well as I took particular interest because we would be eligible to apply now. So they would like municipalities, commissions to make a resolution in support of this proposal. And any rec boards that would also like to tie in with that proposal from the city commissions, they would like to have that. So that's why this has been sent to you to review. And if the Recreation Advisory Board agrees with this proposal, I would pass that along. If you make a motion, I'll pass that along to the commission and they can attach that along with their support.
Is there a downside?
No, only upside for ourselves, and if nothing else, the entire state benefits from funding for recreation.
Okay. Any discussion? Anyone want to make a motion?
Actually, just had one question on that. So this is the opportunity to bring more funds into the Parks and Recs department. You wouldn't have to earmark that until we had a project in mind later on. This is just a way to bring more money in, right?
Right. If we were selected, we could apply for a grant, and it would be an opportunity for us to apply. Whereas before, we have not been able to apply under this program.
Yeah, sounds like a no-brainer. I'll put my hand up, Jeff.
So the motion is for the rec board to support this and encourage the commission. Only a second and a vote. All
I'll
those in
second.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Mia, you vote. We
Aye.
vote. Okay, then it's passed. It's a good motion. Send it to the commission with our approval. You said the baseball infield, that project is going to be,
Well, I'm waiting for some quotes. I talked to a company that came out, I think it was last year also, and we went over the whole field and what we're looking for. And I mean, it's just silty now, especially number 2 by Nadine.
both Burton Fields.
Both Burton Fields, but again, I will add Joe's recommendation to reduce the infield. See what kind of pricing he can add on to that. And we'll see where we are. Maybe it'll be a project we can do through the schools now, talking to Todd, or also maybe the men's club might kick in something. And I still have a resident who at one point had a company he worked with that might be interested in putting in some money. So I'm getting a new price so we can look at doing that.
Mary,
And
what
also
about,
check some of the drainage too.
yeah, what about the track? It seems like the track is now falling apart.
Oh, well, that's the next one.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the baseball infield.
Mhm.
Oh, so you want to go to track?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and there, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
one more comment on the baseball field. Aside from the infield, the dugouts are starting to, the benches are starting to pop out of the ground. It's been that way for a while, but now it's even worse.
Mhm.
And just general care. I mean, weeds all over the place, that sort of thing. But
Well, the
the
weed,
benches,
yeah, part of it will be taken care of by the baseball field when it's redone. So,
yeah.
okay,
Okay.
but I'll make note of those benches. Okay, track repair. Last weekend, last weekend or the weekend before, a resident was on the track, which the track is used a whole lot now, a lot more now. Now with COVID, everybody's on the track. They start early in the morning and they're there all day. A resident did fall on that area that's raised, that's broken. I was out there early, the week before with Nick Gruber looking at that, in fact, because he was saying the men's club might be interested in putting some money into doing something to the track because it's falling in disrepair. That area she fell is raised because the tree roots right there, there's a tree right next to it, are raising the surface up. So that's the reason that's a problem. So I have called Goddard Coatings, and they're going to be coming out and give me a recommendation on what needs to be done there. If it's, I don't know if the tree has to be removed or if they have to reroute the track or what can be done. to correct that situation. But we are going to look into it and see what needs to be done. So
Yeah, it is bad. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah,
filling up.
recognize. Yeah, absolutely recognize that there is a problem. So once I get information from Goddard, I'll bring it back to the next meeting.
And that's just one part of it. There are other parts where the
surface.
part of the tracks are, it's just coming loose all over. Yeah.
Right. So there's big repairs needed. That's the biggest where it is, where the roots are bringing it up. But there are
Yeah.
topical surface too. So when he comes out, we're going to go over the whole thing.
Okay. COVID programming.
Oh, okay. Actually, Colette gave me some information, and I just wanted to fill you guys in because even though our building's closed, we're still very busy. And I wanted to let you guys know what we're doing. Many of you perhaps participate or have kids that participate in some of our virtual programs, classes. But just to give you a heads up, as far as our seniors, Jen has been very active working with our seniors, reaching out to them, having reassurance calls. And you guys know, we put together the 60+ crowd newsletter. A new one is coming out specifically full of resources that the seniors can use with an index in there so it's easy for them to find information that they might need. We're trying our best to keep the seniors connected because we know during COVID and as winter comes, there's going to be a lot of seniors that are going to be needing more than they ever needed before, or may just be lonely. So we're giving them opportunity to contact us if there's any needs that they have, or if they just want reassurance calls. So this 60+ is very welcoming, looking for their input, giving them information that might help them also. So we have I don't know, we have, who it is? Steve Shanbaum put up $500 to pay for the postage on this. This covers October, November, and December. So it's a 3-month edition. Again, a lot of it's specific for resource information for the seniors. We have flu shot clinics coming up. The first one, October 14th, filled up very fast with 90 people. So we're rescheduling another one for October 28th. And we have not yet started registration because we want to wait for the 60 crowd to come out and get to all the seniors. So there may be some seniors that have not yet signed up for this. It's for anybody 7 and over, but we're not doing our health fair this year for the seniors. So we want to make sure our seniors have access to their flu shot. So it's for everybody, but so our next one registration will start the 5th of October because these just went in the mail today. Oakland County, we had some programs with Oakland County for the kids. It's called On the Road. They came out, brought inflatables, games, crafts, all sorts of different things at no cost to the community. And it was really great. We had it on the field, socially distanced, and it's a great opportunity to participate with Oakland County. They bring programs to us. Colette's brought her little spin on things, her love of dogs, and we've had a couple, they're called Full Moon Dog Walks. And there are 7 people participated in the first one. They walk around the community for about an hour and talk with their dogs. And she also brought a canine turbo training class for puppy owners, and that was last week, and that was well received too, giving new owners tips on how they can deal with their dogs. So also just an idea of the classes that we're offering. We offer some on the field as well as virtual. We have soccer starters, another soccer class, lacrosse, acting, volleyball, Tai Chi in the park and that's primarily seniors. We've had a pre-lead mini workshop, upcoming teen photo rally coming up, bingo, family photo scavenger hunt, poo hunt, days coming up this weekend. We moved back to the Burton Field just for social distancing reasons, and we've also had to offer it in 2 separate sessions, an hour each, with 100 coming at each session to remain COVID-19.
That's the heyday. What time is heyday starting?
It's starting earlier. It's going to be 1:30. We will have the horse and we will have the petting zoo, and Treat Dreams is going to be there. We're going to have s'mores.
Was it announced that it was starting sooner? Because I thought it was 2 to
You're going
3.
to get an email. You'll be getting an email tomorrow if you've signed up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we had to change it because the petting zoo and horse couldn't come out.
Sorry, Mary, what day did you say that was?
Saturday. This
This, oh,
Saturday.
this Saturday. Oh,
This
okay.
Saturday. Upcoming pumpkin carving, family parking lot bingo, clue hunt, bicycle clue hunt, Santa story time, senior holiday lunch in December. We've had Friday food trucks started this past Friday. Colette said there are about 200 people that attended that. Motor City Franks was there and Treat Dreams was there also. Outdoor pickleball is going crazy. So you know what? We're just as busy, I think, as ever. Just nothing inside the rec center. Oh, our preschool program is starting. That's right. Our pre-K and 3-year-old program starts Monday. So that's going on. So which is reduced. We only have mornings, only 10 per class, but we're able to at least start that program up and get that going. So that's what we're up to. We're not sitting idly, but we are keeping busy.
So is there any thought of starting anything up for next year?
Not as usual. We will probably be approaching next year the same way we are right now, in a virtual vein. Colette and I and Amy have been talking about perhaps opening up the gym just for walking the track, like for those, mostly adults, primarily seniors that do walk in the morning, opening it up on a limited basis, having to make a reservation, mornings only. So that is all right now. There's nothing else. Excuse me.
Doesn't the front part open up, Mary, of the gym?
The front.
Is the front,
The
the glass in the front?
windows,
The glass.
overhead doors?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
So has there been any thought of opening up the gym for use with having those open, the doors open and the windows open?
No. The only thing that may possibly at some point, we might open it up just for family, reservation family use only. It'd have to be a family unit using it, reserving it like for 50 minutes at a time to be able to be in the gym. So that we're looking at that, how that feasibly will work out.
So at what point is our deadline, I mean, for doing something like camps or pool for next summer?
Well, right now, we're working on the winter newsletter, so we may delay the information on camps a bit. Basically, we have, excuse me, no clue the numbers we're talking about. I mean, if we had a lottery like we typically do, I've got to believe that we're not going to be able to accommodate as many people as we have in the past for camp. So we are looking at offering a camp of some sort. We don't know right now what it's going to look like. We're planning on opening the pool. Don't know what that's going to look like, if it's going to have to be limited. It's all going to just be guided by where COVID is at that point in time and the guidelines, executive orders, county executive, that type thing. But we're looking to offer something in the summer. Yeah, we're very hopeful.
Okay, how about Peasley Park?
Okay, this was brought up to me. Well, as you know, Peasley Park is open and everybody's enjoying it. And especially during COVID, and it is being used as a destination park, we put a porta-john in there, which I thought was really appropriate because the day before it arrived, I had gone by the park and there was some woman there whose little child was back in the corner who had to go to the bathroom, was just, going on, which I understand. I had little kids too, that happens. So anyway, we have porta-johns in Reynolds Park. We have it by the library because the recreation center isn't open. And these are regularly cleaned porta-johns too. So, and so it seemed that was a logical place to put a porta-john because so many kids are there. I thought it was in an okay place. Kind of, it's hard because it is so close to homes and you have to have a porta-john within 11 feet so they can get in and clean it. So from the entrance, they have to be able to get in. I had a resident who lives on that street who was very upset with the porta-john, thinking it was unsightly so close to homes. And so I wanted to bring it to you guys, kind of get your feedback, not just my feedback on how I thought that location worked out and if there should be one in that park. And Jessica, perhaps you've used the park more, I don't know, more than others have.
Yeah.
So you would have input, that is it a vital thing that is valuable there? As far as a placement, do you think it's offensive to the neighborhood, or any input for anybody else that may have been by and seen it?
Yeah, I use the park all the time. I was actually there today for soccer practice for South Oakland County Soccer. I think, I think that park attracts a lot of little kids. And so I think it's really valuable because those are kids that, can't necessarily control themselves in the same way as older kids can. So I think it's really beneficial. I come in from the Winchester side, so I can't really speak to, what it looks like from the residents on Balfour. There is, plenty of space along Coolidge if you wanted to relocate it. I could see you putting it anywhere along the Coolidge fence, where maybe people would be less offended by it. Did the complaint come from the house right next door or somebody else on the block?
No, it's down a few. And
So I would think that the house right next door, if they would have the most right to complain that there's a porta potty next to their driveway. But no, I think it's a really important thing to keep there for sure.
And putting it along Coolidge isn't a bad idea, but again, like I say, it's not accessible to the truck that comes through and to clean it out. So that's the problem.
I know years
Well,
ago.
you do have the driveway on Winchester that they can drive into the park, can't they?
I don't think they drive into the park. They take their hose. So I don't think they drive.
Oh,
They have a long hose that attaches to the truck.
got it.
Okay, I know
Okay.
years ago, the problem was the people on Balfour said that before, years ago, that the kids would come and knock on their door and say, could they use their bathroom? And they didn't want to turn the kids down. But again, when this happened 5 or 10 times a day, it was pain. So I think some of those people might be happier with it there. I mean, they don't want to be mean to the kids, but on the other hand, you can't have this all day long.
Right. Well, I have a suggestion though, because nothing's going to be done now. It's going to remain there until winter comes and it will be removed. If you guys have a chance, those that have not been by on Balfour, it's right off Coolidge, just go by and see what your take is on if it's offensive, if you have any other suggestions for locations, perhaps, just to fill me in on that.
Mhm.
I did talk to a realtor though, because the one resident that was unhappy with it said that she felt that it would bring her home value down. And this realtor said, no, that's not a concern. So there you go.
Okay. Department update.
Okay. We do have an opening on the board right now. I don't know that there's any applications on file. They have not done any interviewing because they would prefer not to have to do it via Zoom. So we're not in dire straits needing a member. So they haven't added any board members to any boards lately anyway. So we're looking at January, perhaps, starting up interviews again. Bridget Brown had her baby.
Oh, good.
She had it Labor Day. She had a little girl, Sophie Ann. Okay, budget recommendation. I just told you about the tennis court. The funds for the tennis court did get reinstated into the budget. It was taken out until we could see where everything stood, and the commission met last week, I believe, and agreed to have it reinstated. So that was good.
What is being done to the tennis court necessarily?
Pardon me?
What repairs are being done to the tennis court necessarily?
So if you are on the tennis courts, and I don't know if you've seen it, there's cracks all over, and they keep getting wider. Just over years, asphalt, that's just common with what happens with asphalt. It's a taping system. They fill the crack, and then they put a tape over it, and then they end up painting over it. It does not affect the bounce of the ball. In fact, the 11 Mile courts had that done years ago, and nobody would ever know it. Berkeley a year and a half ago had it done to their courts also. So it's a stopgap measure that'll buy us some years before we have to invest big bucks into completely redoing the courts. So it's a good fix for now.
And that's happening to both of the courts?
Yes, both sets of courts.
Okay.
Reynolds Park update. We need to resubmit an application to the men's club to see if they will approve that as their funding, as their auction item again. It's not a guarantee, so that does have to be resubmitted. So that's where they stand. They did not make enough money in the last auction, so it will have to be readdressed. So I don't know where we are. The city funds are still there for the project. So it's right now on hold until we get the remainder of the money.
Do we have to resubmit for that, or
Yes.
can we come up with a different project that we feel could be in more need?
That's up to the board. I mean, if the board has something that they feel it's worth discussion, we certainly could. I mean, but for it to even be considered, that would have to be resubmitted. So if there's something else, perhaps. Virtual run, I think told you last time, I was going to let you know there were 109 participants in the virtual run this summer. Heyday, I told you my flu shot. Oh, I guess that's it. I told you everything.
No,
So
you
that's
didn't
it.
tell us about your retirement.
You.
Well. Yeah, well, I'm retiring in February.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, yep. So they will, they'll be posting the job in November, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I've worked here 26 years. I worked here before children, took time off, and then came back this last stint for about 18 years. So it's time. My husband retired a year ago, so he's got the hang of it. So now I'll try. So I don't know if I'll be very successful, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the other news. So that's all.
Okay.
So you said that the job, so that there's been a lot of controversy over the city posting jobs. So I just want to make sure that they are committed to posting your job publicly.
Oh no, it will be posted. It'll also be posted on the state recreation site. So yeah, it will be posted.
Okay, great.
And that's a city commission, city manager to find your replacement.
Oh no, there'll be a committee. There's people from the state Parks and Recreation that we know around the area. It'll be people from the outside incoming interviewing as well as internal.
Okay.
Are we going to have a socially distant party for you?
Oh, we don't need any party.
Oh, fine.
No, not required. Not required. So
Not required, no.
I know parties aren't my thing. I'm happy. You'll see me around. So I don't know. You never know with Colette though. She always pulls surprises. So, but I'm not planning on
At
it.
the very minimum, we'll dedicate the January meeting to you. How's that?
Okay, that's good. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Any, do we have a plan of action for when's the next meeting?
The last Tuesday in October. I'm not sure even what that date is.
The last Tuesday in October.
The 27th.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, I have it on my list, so I guess we all do know that, okay. Board member comments. Frank.
I was just looking at the calendar.
You get a board member comment.
I don't.
You don't?
I have a question.
Sure.
How did those bikes that were installed at the rec center, how was that this summer? Like with profit or just usage of those?
I don't know profit. We're not connected with that in any way. I only saw bikes move because I see where they were parked. I think only about 3 times have I've seen them parked or one missing from there. So I really don't know. You know what? I could find out. I'm sure I could go contact GoPro and find out. I mean, GoPro. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I will check into
Logo.
that. Mogo. Okay, thank you.
GoPro's the cameras.
That's it. I was close.
You were.
Okay, I'll check on that.
Mia, do you have a comment? Your first meeting.
Just thanks for having me. This has been nice. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Good. Kim,
Welcome, Mia. That's it.
I'm just going down how you guys are on my screen. So Alexa, anything else? Joe,
I second the welcome, Mia. So welcome
Thank
aboard.
you.
Jessica,
Just a thank you, I guess, to Mary and to the Parks and Rec staff. As life is crazy, and I can't imagine trying to run Parks and Rec during COVID. And I think that you've done a phenomenal job, and I love the programming that's come out of the city for the kids, and grateful for the creativity.
Thank you. I will pass that along.
okay, anything else? Well, then I'll adjourn the meeting. Those of us who are interested, can go watch the debates in about half an hour.
Oh, that's happening?
As far as I know, at 9
Oh,
o'clock.
No, I'm just
Is
kidding.
it happening or is it happening?
Yeah, something. And otherwise, thank you all, and we'll see you guys in a month.
Thank you.
And thanks, Tracy, for putting this together. Tracy.
She can't hear you.
Okay.
I'll call her on Thursday.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Bye, guys.